Hey guys, it's Will here. I just wanted to talk about this Ben Shapiro talk that he gave at UC Berkeley. The reason I'm getting into some of these other topics beyond just online business and stuff is I've seen sort of a decline in free speech, people being able to talk and go to campus and speak, and a variety of other issues, taxes and increased spending and all these things, just kind of a breakdown, like societal decline, I guess. And so I've been getting kind of nervous about where things are headed, and I thought I would speak out about some things. And so, like, I don't really consider myself left or right, conservative or Democrat. There's different terminologies in Canada and in the U.S. So I feel like, as an individual, I can criticize, the different parties. I don't just identify with one group and, never criticize them. And so anyways, like I said, I've generally been a left-leaning person being in Canada, but I do have conservative ideas about debt. Personally, I've been striving over time to get out of debt, mortgages, personal consumer debt, credit card. And so I don't obviously think it's a good thing, but the governments and are in huge debts and stuff like that. In the US, it's just past $20 trillion. So anyways, with Ben Shapiro, if you don't know him and people say things, you might think, he's a Nazi or some horrible person. And once you listen to some of these people like Milo and this and that, I don't really agree with a lot of these people, but there's not really much to it. So there's a lot of unnecessary fear, and it just elevates these people. So anyways, with Ben Shapiro especially, he's just, I don't know, just kind of a run-of-the-mill person. And I listened to his talk at Berkeley, and the thing that is annoying is that the threat of some violence from the left, Antifas, basically, resulted in $600,000 being spent on security. Now, the positive side is that he's actually able to speak on campus, and it was, pretty harmless if you listen to it. And the idea is that if you don't agree with what he's saying, is to come up with arguments and debate. So he had a question period at the end, and people asked him things, and he would respond about abortion and various things, and some of them I don't agree with 100%, but he had really good arguments. And if you want to disagree and come up with your approach, whether you think high taxes or healthcare or whatever it is, talk about it and debate that. Don't use violence. So they're saying that a lot of these topics are aggressions, and that justifies using physical violence. So nothing really justifies physical violence unless you are attacked, and then you're physically and you're using self-defense. We have police and military that are basically there to provide security, and nobody should be taking that into their own hands. And it's overblown. A lot of this comes from the professors that are sort of indoctrinating people. And free speech is really a cornerstone of society, and it gives you the freedom to say things. And so there's a lot of fear and a lot of self-censorship. Like when people are working now, if you the James Damore I mentioned last time, the Google Docs, if you say anything about women versus men, some of the Islamic criticisms, religion, any type of religious criticism, talking about various topics, you're considered to be alt-right, or they just want to stifle free speech. And no one's advocating promoting violence and these types of things. And there are some basic limits on free speech, as everyone mentions, shouting fire in a crowded theater and stuff like that. But just criticizing and ideas and debating them should be allowed. So if you just listen to these people, just listen to some of the videos, and you realize that you might not agree with everything they're saying, but you gotta let them speak, and you gotta be able to hear opposing views, as bad as annoying as they are. That's just because otherwise, if we can't debate things, things tend to go to violence if you don't want to hear somebody if people don't want to hear each other, listen to each other, it's just going to go downhill and turn into violence. So that's the key, is that it avoids the violence by letting people speak. And so, anyways, that's just my thoughts. And let me know what you think in the comments. Talk to you guys later.